Hi guys, it's Amanda Johnson here, Superstar Director for Team Kickin Wicks, and I'm here to talk to you about the potential in the party. We've been having a discussion in our group page lately about parties and the value of them, and so I'm going to break those down for you today because we have so many brand new consultants that I want to break down the 3 typical types of parties that you will see in your business, talk to you about kind of how they work, and also show you some really fun math, which I know, right? That's what kind of phrase is that? Fun math. But show you some fun math to show you some potential earnings you can get from these different types of parties. The first thing we're going to do is just break it down. We're going to look at the 3 different types of parties. I'm going to kind of show you the differences between them to kind of give you just some background information, I guess, if you will. So the first one is an online. This is kind of a party that's defined by a party that you're not having face-to-face interaction with your host or the customers. A lot of times you'll set up a link for people to shop on through your workstation for your PWS. You might then go into Facebook and set up an event or group where your host is going to then invite their customers or their friends and family to come on and watch you make different posts throughout maybe a week or 2, or you're going to go live on a certain night and present the products and Scentsy to those people, but you're not having any face-to-face interaction. The customers will send you their orders, you'll place them, and then of course your host will redeem the rewards. This has been a big trend online lately in the last 2 years, but I will tell you that trend is slowly going away. So we're going to talk about the next type of party that I really want to encourage you guys to dive into, and that is a basket party. Now, the word basket is quote unquote because it doesn't necessarily have to be a basket. It could be a cute tote, a box. We just have always called them basket parties for whatever reason. But in this case, the host is given a container of some sort that is filled with, your testers, catalogs, order forms, monthly flyers. You might even stick like a warmer and a bar for them to use in there. There are so many different ways to kind of pack that basket for your host, but basically then that person is going to take that with them to work, to church, to ball games, wherever they go. They're going to sit down with those people and say, hey, I'm hosting a Scentsy party. Do you want to flip through a catalog? Do you want to smell these testers? And then she's going to kind of do the work for you. She's kind of the pretend consultant for a little while. And so she's going to collect the orders and then give them to you to then turn in and redeem for rewards. Now, the big key with basket parties is, like I just said, your host is kind of become the consultant for a time. So it's really important during basket parties that you are coaching your host. And we're going to get to that here in just a minute. But you're really going to be, checking in on them every few days, saying like, don't forget to share this, or this is a really great place to go take that basket and let people smell, and making sure that you're available to them for questions and answers. And then we have home parties. This is what our business is based on, is the home party. We are a party plan business. And you remember back in the day where you go to a Tupperware party or a Mary Kay party and go to someone's home and you'll be entertained and be social and have fellowship. And so that's really the idea behind the home party. Home parties are defined by the consultant going to someone's home. Sometimes those will be held in like, a church fellowship hall or another area. I've also heard consultants offering their own home for this. But anyway, you as a consultant will go to that place in person. You will have a little display set up. You might do an open house where people just kind of come in and go through a couple hours of time. Or you might get up and do a presentation. You might get up and play games. A big trend right now is bingo, playing bingo. Or you might do like a fun theme night, like a luau or a spa party. Lots and lots of options with home parties. But basically, you, the consultant, are face-to-face with your host and with the potential customers. So you're able to really express and show them and get their hands and their noses on the product and really get them to experience those things, where before, either through a basket or online, they're not really getting to experience the products. There is something really cool about home parties I'm going to throw in, and that is that a lot of times when people are sitting in a group setting versus a basket or an online party, and they're kind of all looking through the catalog together and showing each other what they like, your sales tend to be higher because there's this underlying just not peer pressure by any means, but so-and-so will say, oh my gosh, that would look so cute in your living room. Oh my gosh, that your little girl would love that. And it kind of helps fuel the ordering in your party. So those are our 3 types. So we're going to break it down even further. And I'm going to tell you the typical time investment that you're going to have in each of these parties. Now, you're probably wondering where I got these numbers from. I did a poll on a director page and kind of asked other consultants, how much time do you kind of invest into each type of party? And this was kind of the general consensus. And that is that the online parties, they're investing 6 to 8 hours of time. Now, what's really interesting about this is that we tend to say, well, online parties are really good for people that are busy. You don't have time to go to somebody's house. They don't have time for you to come to theirs or whatever. However, this type of party actually takes more time and preparation than any other party that we've got. So really, it isn't the most convenient. It may be the most convenient to some capacity, but time-wise, it actually takes a lot more time because you have to write and plan posts. You have to be on that page every single, on your event or whatever, every single day, posting or interacting with your guests or answering questions. And then you're doing that over a period of time, and then going live for whatever time, and then all that kind of stuff. So this was the average for most consultants. They said they invested 6 to 8 hours of their time into online parties, which is quite a bit, right? Basket parties, 2 to 3 hours. And that kind of breaks down to, you're spending maybe 30 minutes prepping your basket. Now, the cool thing about those is you can kind of already have those prepped. So when I get one back from a customer, I try to get them ready in that moment so that it can go right back out again. So there's really not a ton of time in prep for a basket party. And then your rest of your time is going to be spent in, of course, going and delivering that basket party to your host, spending time, giving them a call or sending a text and just checking in and giving them great host coaching. I cannot express that enough. There's lots of great information on there, out there, either in our page or on even Pinterest about host coaching and how valuable that is. And then, of course, getting that basket back, turning in your orders, getting them in, packaging. So we're going to err on the side of probably close to 3 hours all said and done. Still, like, really great. I mean, that's 3 hours, that's not very much time. And then we have home parties, and these are a little bit more time than basket parties, but still not near the online party. So home party, again, it's prep, it's packing up your things. Don't feel like when you do a home party, you have to take one of everything. We will address this in another training, but you want to, of course, have your goodies bagged up to take to the home party. Arrive 30 minutes early, set up, have the party for an hour, 30 minutes to pack up and go home afterwards. And then, of course, putting those orders in and, packaging and the like from there. So we're going to bump that and say 4 hours for our next slide because that's going to become important. So you can see here there's really a good breakdown of how much time you're going to invest in each of these. And I just really think the important thing here is that you look at that online and you think, oh my gosh, online seems so easy. And in theory it is, but it does take more of your personal time to invest in. Okay, so here's where the cool stuff happens. So I played with some math. Again, fun math, I know, but I thought this was really interesting. So we're going to pretend like we just hosted a party for each one of these styles, and our party total came to 400. Now, I will tell you that can be trickier with your online and your basket parties, but 100% can be done. And there's all sorts of great information out there. We're going to be doing some trainings on the different types of parties coming up soon. So we're going to help you get to those party totals. But for today's lesson, we're going to say each of them hit $400, okay? As a certified consultant, you're being paid at 25% commission. And so you earned $100, $100 on this party. How phenomenal is that? That is amazing. So I want to break this down even further because we as a society, we are a 9 to 5, how much am I being paid per hour mentality, right? And so I thought it would be really interesting to see if we break this down, how much you earned per hour based on that $100 commission on each of these parties, because I think your time, my time, is so valuable, right? And so I want to say, well, how much am I earning per hour if I do this type of party? So let's look at that. Online, if you average, we went on the higher side of each of these just for the sake of the conversation. Online, if you averaged 8 hours, you were paid $12.50 an hour to do that online party. Now listen, if you have to stay at home and that's the way you do that, making $12.50 an hour is not shabby by any means, right? So that's great. That is great money. You didn't have to go anywhere. You stayed home. And so that's fantastic. But we know that, of course, the less time we spend, the more per hour we're making, okay? So now let's go to basket party. Average of 3 hours invested in a basket party, you were just paid by Scentsy $33 an hour to do that party. That's rock star. Now imagine if you're doing, 3 to 4 parties a month, what that's going to look like. Now do you see those paychecks getting higher and higher? This is how we do things. And then home party, if you average 4 hours, your pay is $25 an hour. Now, I'm going to bet that most people, maybe who don't have a degree are not making $25 or $33 an hour, right? I know when I left the workforce 14 years ago, I was making $9.50 an hour. And that was for a big company. So making $25 to $33 an hour by putting in 3 to 4 hours of time, on a party that your party total is for $400, you've made $100 in commission. I think that's pretty great, don't you? I just think it's really neat to look at that perspective and say, oh my gosh, wait, if I start doing home parties, or if I start really committing to basket parties, I can put in 3 hours of time and make $33 an hour. If I have 4 of those going at a time, imagine the possibilities. But wait, there's more. Okay, what's behind door number 2? Do you guys like all my cheesy stuff here? There are so many benefits other than just that pay for your parties, okay, for doing parties. And we're going to break those down now. First of all, future PRV, so future sales. You do these parties, you're getting new customers, and those customers are going to give you future sales as long as you're doing great follow-up. Again, another discussion for another day. Not everyone's going to become a host or a new consultant under your team, but these new connections that you have gained are going to bring you the opportunity to create long-term customers who are going to call you when they need another bar, or call you when they need a counter clean, or when we have a special come out, or a flash sale. And so you have the opportunity to get future PRV from these customers that you've met through these parties, versus you not doing any type of party and just kind of hoping sales and people just kind of float in across your path, which honestly doesn't happen very often. You got to do the work, right? Okay. And then the other thing you can get is future booking. So again, you've met new people, they order, they like Scentsy. Why not ask them to host their own party? Online and home are going to give you the interaction with the guests that you need to try and book those parties, right? Because you're talking to them either online or in person, and you just say, hey, would you want to host your own party and earn free and half price rewards? You can also do this with basket parties. It just takes a different format because you're not talking to those customers face to face, right? Or online. And so you're going to put something in their package when their order comes in, or you're going to use Mad Mimi, or not Mad Mimi, you're going to use Maven and contact them later on your 2 weeks after they place their order and say, hey, thank you so much for ordering from so-and-so's party. Would you be interested in hosting your own? So definitely can be done on all 3 party types. Easier on online and home. Definitely can still be done with basket party. New team members. You want growth in this business. You want big, massive, awesome paychecks. Get new team members. And a great way to do this, again, just like bookings, is through parties, because you're going to have the opportunity to talk to people who enjoy Scentsy, who are buying Scentsy, and understanding what Scentsy might be able to offer for them. Again, easier with online and home parties, but definitely can be done with basket parties when you do great follow-up. And then relationship and connections. The longevity of your business will be tied to the relationships you build. We cannot express how important relationships are enough. This can be done through all party types. Again, if you're intentional, it means good follow-up. It means checking in on them, seeing if there's anything else you can do. Every new connection and relationship you bring will give you the opportunity for potential sales, bookings, and recruits. I've shown you before my little circle diagram where you have your circle of friends, and when you have those people order and you connect with their circle of friends and then their circle of friends, how that grows exponentially. And so it really is so, so important that you, if you want this business to be really successful, that you're looking at every aspect in every different way that you can build and have growth. Okay, so the gist of it all, parties are awesome and you can make big, big money. Okay, you guys, you'll be paid $25 an hour. What if I tried to recruit you to Scentsy? I said, hey, you're going to get paid $25 an hour. I only have to spend 4 hours a week doing this, you would be on board all day long, right? It's all about how you break it down and look at things just a little bit different. Parties are a great way to build your team and your customer base. Again, we want those things for longevity, right? You're not here for just a split second. You want to be here for the long haul. Don't be afraid to try all three styles, and that's one thing I think is really important. Try all three. Try an online one, try a basket party, try a home party, try doing them all in different ways. But try them all, because you're going to find one that really works well for you. Work to have 2 to 4 parties going each month. Now, I know the thing I always hear with people saying, well, but I can't get anybody to do them. I really don't know how to book them. I don't know what type to do. I don't know what to do when I show up to these parties. Don't worry. We're going to be covering some of this stuff in the coming weeks. And on top of that, there are tons of resources out there for learning how to execute these different types of parties. There is our Facebook group. You can go up into the search tab and type in home party or basket party or online party or Facebook party and get all sorts of return on that. You can also head to the training center on our workstation. There's some great trainings in there on how to do different types of parties. Scentsy also offers an all consultant call once a week. A lot of times those cover these type of things, so be sure you're checking those out. Pinterest, you guys, I cannot tell you how many cool things there are on Pinterest that will help you if you're a reader, if you're visual, if you need to look at things or scripts or whatever. Really great stuff on Pinterest. And then YouTube. Look to other Scentsy leaders, look to other people and see what they're offering. They have been so gracious enough to upload videos and trainings on how they do what they do, so go take advantage of that. My encouragement to you today is be more afraid of missing out than you are of taking the chance. I want to see you guys have fantastic, hugely successful businesses. This is one way you're going to do that if you just trust us. Be more afraid of missing out than you are of just going for it and taking the chance. So, your challenge today, your next step is to go and try to book 2 parties. And while you're doing that, figure out what type of 2 parties you want to do and go do some research so you have a little bit more smarts on it. All right? Have a great day and be blessed.